I am super excited about today's guest and today's episode. Really have been impressed with my friend Kizzy's success over the past few years. I got a chance to meet her personally in one of the courses that I was taking at the time, and it's just amazing to see her progress over that time. Now she's not an overnight success because she's been working at this for a long time, but I got to tell you, some of her recent success has gotten her to the next level that I just have to talk about with her. When you look at Kizzy's background, she has been growing phenomenally on areas like YouTube. Just in about 2.5 years, she's grown from 0 subscribers up to almost 100,000 with over 95,000 subscribers, which I got to unpack and talk about. Not to mention the fact she has a great business about government contracting. Government contracting. This is how she's growing this channel. And she's won over $75 million in contracts. She's created multiple successful businesses. We're going to unpack some of that so that you can perhaps benefit from it and get some good lessons. Just like myself, I'm going to learn from this conversation as well. So without further ado, I want to welcome Ms. Kizzy Parks, Dr. Kizzy Parks, to the show. Welcome to the show, Kizzy.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the introduction, and it's an honor to be here with you.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you for sure. So, I mean, some of the success you've gotten, I was just amazed when I looked at it. I was like, wow, 5.6 million views in just 2.5 years. That was mind blowing. Over 700 videos. The fact you make so many videos also blew my mind. And of course, the fact that you have almost 100,000 subscribers. So, I want to try and just unpack as part of the conversation. What do you attribute? I know you've been successful on other platforms too,
Mhm.
by the way, because I follow you on TikTok and I followed you on LinkedIn. But what do you think has been one of those key drivers that's helped you in growing your success over the past 2.5 years, particularly with YouTube?
It's definitely been God, my team, and a little bit of Cardi B.
Okay, all right, okay. We gotta. I definitely want to get to that Cardi B there, but the team. Tell me about the team. I would love to hear because you had the team before. But and you still have a team now. Has
Mhm.
there been changes in the dynamics of the team over the past 2.5 years?
There have been changes. So initially, because I'm a fan of Graham Stephan, he has several finance channels,
Oh yes, I
Iced
have seen
Coffee
that.
Hour. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, there was a point in time where he posted a video asking, putting out there, turning over to the universe that he needed an editor. And I thought,
Uh-huh.
oh well, if Graham Stephan does this like that, then I'll do it too. So I posted a video on whatever. It wasn't even. I don't even think it's the same channel I have now. It was like a different channel I had on YouTube. I posted saying I was seeking an editor
Okay.
because I had experience creating what I thought were shorts and having them edited by people in Upwork, putting them on LinkedIn. But I knew from following Graham and others that one of the big drivers on YouTube is a thing called consistency. And I know
Mm-hmm.
how I am sometimes with consistency. Y'all probably, January 1st comes and then January 7th and you've done given up. I got it.
Right.
So I posted this video and I had somebody contact me in Instagram and then I had somebody contact me multiple times and follow the instructions. His name is MD. So I was like, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. But I love that he kept following up and he showed me his brother's channel. And at that time, I think his brother had 30,000 subscribers. And I was like, wow, I didn't personally know anybody who had like that many subscribers. I mean, my friends,
Right.
family, and circle were not creating YouTube videos.
Right.
So I thought, okay, well, this is going to work. So it was just MD and yours truly, uh, and we figured out which email. We started the channel from scratch at zero. If you go to the old channel, you'll see a message that says, "Don't go here, go to the other one."
Okay. All right.
And I was just like, okay, well, I guess you post once a week. So it was just like basically the two of us. Then at some point in time, he brought in his brother to create and elevate the thumbnails and I think the brother helped with shorts or something.
Okay.
So it evolved, and then it's further evolving, which I can chat about. But yeah, that's kind of the evolution of it.
So when you say once a week, you're talking about the long form content was once a week, or do you do long
Initially,
form?
because I
Okay.
thought that's what you did. I
Okay.
didn't know. I thought, "Oh, well, here's some creators I like, they do once a week," and then I realized that's not going to work, and that's where Cardi B comes in.
Got it. Okay. Tell me about this Cardi B connection here.
One thing I really like about her and other people like her is they outwork other people without saying, "I outwork you." You
Mm.
know, some people will say, "I'm on the grind. I'm working so hard." And it's like, "Oh, that's cute." But she shows you, being a mother, winning Grammys. Oh, like I think she was just in a Marc Jacobs ad or something. She, all of the things, Jennifer Lopez, and then of course there's men you can look towards like LeBron or whoever could be your neighborhood business owner, whoever that person is who you gravitate toward. I love Cardi B. I Y'all don't even realize how much I love her. So what I like about it is she just does it. All of her actions speak for herself, and that is, in my opinion, the reason she's so successful. So I
Mm.
thought, okay, well, here's a woman who has taken what has come her way by building a platform with 1 million. I think she had 1 million followers before she got on Love and Hip Hop. So I was like, okay, got it. You definitely have to have social proof and you got to have a following.
Right.
She's always working. She's never, "Oh, I'm pregnant. I'm going to take 2 years off." No, I've never heard her. I've never come across that with her. She's constantly doing, she's constantly innovating. She's an entrepreneur. She's connected to whip shots, all of these things. And it's like, okay, so as a person without kids, I'm just going to sit back and make one video a week. Okay, no.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was like, I have to do more. I'm like, this isn't working because our first goal was to get monetized. And on YouTube, to get monetized, you first and foremost need two-factor security. Nobody ever talks about that part. So
Mm.
you need a
Hmm.
two-factor security. You need 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's 4,000 watch hours, something like
Right. Yeah. I think it's it.
that. So I was like, okay, well, I have to make more content, which then connected me to CoffeeZilla, who I love his work. I love
Mm.
CoffeeZilla.
Okay. Note to self on that.
And there was a point in time where CoffeeZilla, I think he posted straight for 30 days or 90 days. And I was like, oh my goodness, now I see why. I'm going to have to do that. It's like Cardi B. She's like, right now, she's pregnant with her third child, but she's still working. She's not like, oh, I'm going on leave for 5 years. And so I went and we posted, I'll never forget, it was that April. I
Mm.
posted about 30 days straight, and then it helped things take off. And I'm like, okay, so we got to post more. And then the other revelation was I was too focused on yours truly and the pop and curls.
Okay.
And the biggest learning was you have to post and give people what they need based on their journey in whatever it is you're posting content on.
Ah. Yeah. That's key. Yeah. You know what else too? I'm getting from what you're saying too is that during that time in April when you did those 30 in a row, just like working out, you're gonna get better. So your videos are getting better, your content's getting better over that period of time. Would you agree with that?
Hands down. I mean, my videos were atrocious. First, I was like too close to the screen. I it was a lot of interesting things. And also note, it's not about the quality of your camera. It's not about your background. It's not about boom, boom, boom editing. It's not about having a whiz bang guest. It's the value you add.
Mm.
My highest
Mhm.
performing, one of my highest performing videos is an interview with Kimberly Kidd where she talks about starting out in IT. She decided she wanted to do government contracting, and her first contract was for HVAC, and she hasn't looked back. All of her work is HVAC facility management. And I remember waking up and I was like, oh my God, I have this interview. I threw my hair in a bun. I'd just woken up. I put my glasses on. And during the interview, like her audio is kind of cutting out, the video's
Right.
freezing, and I'm in Michigan and just recording on my computer. And that video has over 100,000 views.
Wow.
And because it's so powerful. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to get out of my head because I initially was like a lack kind of view, like, oh, well, I don't have this. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you are the this. It's like Alex Hormozy. When you look at his early videos, it looks like he's in a prison cell. It's him in this little bitty closet, and the views and his videos have so many views because of the value. So that when I started thinking in those terms of value, community, and other things that we'll talk about, the channel really shifted.
That's wow. There's a lot of value you just added right there. Um, so you've kind of attributed team. You talked about that, how you added the editors. You talked about also how yourself, you had to kind of get over yourself and grow internally. Any other thoughts you want to add about internal growth before I move on to my next important topic, which is the government contracting? So, what would you say? Are there any advice you'd like to give as you look back retrospectively on yourself, on what you did to improve yourself?
To reach what I believe and I'm on the path for, which is always happiness and to share my bigger purpose, which is to teach, to help, to reach billions and billions of people. My cup has to be full. My cup is
Mm-hmm.
full through God, through spirit, through ever evolving and transforming. Because the last thing I ever will be, and well, I won't be it, is miserable with money because I was it. Like, what does
Right.
that give you?
Right.
What does that give you? Money only makes you more of who you are. And I've been miserable. I've been not the best person in life. I've always been really kind and sweet, but then there are times I wasn't as kind and sweet. And so working on myself, it's like a superpower because then I'm speaking for self, I'm able to give and impact more and people take note. Because
Mm-hmm.
whether you're on YouTube, you're on LinkedIn, you're on TikTok, it doesn't matter the platform. We are another channel. We are, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's short. And we are so grateful and so fortunate that complete strangers have taken the time to say, oh, I want to watch this.
Right.
And so I want to be able to give love and light and to show them what is possible through God, through hard work, through introspection, through self development, because too many people talk. Oh, well, this is what I did. I went to this retreat. I did this. I got the bracelets, or I went here, or I joined this group. And then they're still ratchet, or they're still miserable, or they are not making any money and they rented a house for a video and you think it's their house and it's not.
Right.
Or they told you they won government contracts and they really didn't.
Really didn't. Okay.
And so my whole goal in life is just to be love and light, to show what is possible. That's why I always say everything is possible at the end of my videos. I even change my banner on my channel to everything is possible because that's the goal for you to see, oh my gosh, Kizzy, she lost weight. Like she's not lying. She's not playing. She's not saying, oh, I'm going to lose weight. And then you still the same weight.
Right. So you're a big believer in before you're going to do any kind of channel or putting yourself out there. It's definitely helpful for you to have already walked that walk and been have had a level of success at walking that walk.
And showing the journey. You don't have to be like the top of the of whatever it is you're in.
Okay.
But the reason, just take a step back. The reason we connect with certain people is because they show the journey. Why do
That's
we
true.
why do we love Dolly Parton? Everybody loves some Dolly Parton. because she doesn't hold back. She
Yeah.
curses every now and again. She has her, about Jolene and all these things. She's Miley Cyrus's godmother. She's amazing. She's like, like Dollyland or Dollywood. Man, don't even play with me. I love some Dolly Parton because we love her. She's been vulnerable. She's shared enough. She's amazing. And she's timeless.
Yeah. She's so authentic. It doesn't matter what level of success she has. She's very authentic.
Right. That's why we love her. And so that to me is key is you want to be authentic. Like recently and we can talk more about it, there's this platform that's common with the government. It's kind of think of it like the Dollar General of the government. Like,
Okay.
when you go Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Dollar World, dollar with a little dollar sign, you're going for a deal.
Right. Right.
Okay? Regardless of the name. The government has a website like that too, which we'll talk more about. And I've made several videos on it. I am very well aware of it, but we have never won on it. Never. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm interviewing people who told me they won. And I was like, Kizzy, this is weird. Like, you're talking about it. You've never won on this site. It sells a lot of products. Like, you can sell cheese to the Bureau of Prison.
Okay.
And that's not really what we do a lot of. And I thought, okay, we're winning on this platform because in order to really share, I got to share. And I never told people, I never said, oh, I won. I never misled. No, I was always honest and open with people and said, I've used, it's called Unison. I've used Unison. I know about it. I've never won. Well, sure enough, oh, we won. We won on Unison with the Coast Guard. It's basically bill processing. So they're going to pay us about 14,000 every month. We have to take that $14,000 and distribute it to 10 waste management companies and we're going to make almost $24,000 a year doing that. Am I a bill
Nice.
processing company? No. Am I in waste management? No. I have a PhD in industrial organizational psychology and thought I was going to be a college professor.
Wow. Okay. Now you just hit on something because I know a lot of people are thinking about, okay, there's these bids out here for things that I've never actually done before. I don't have references for. So what's the use in even applying for that? Or not applying, but
That's
bidding on
that
it.
I understand. That's a skill gap and a confidence gap. Did Jeff Bezos have experience selling books?
No, I think he wanted to be like a venture capitalist or something. He wanted to, he went through, he went to school for finance, I believe. He was looking at businesses and he thought books would be a nice way to get into the whole internet thing.
I
That's a great
mean,
point.
you look at a local restaurant. Let me give you one of my old favorites because I don't eat like that anymore, and I don't know if I can eat there. But let me tell you, it's called the Big Pink because I vote in Miami Beach. I live full time in Mexico. I vote in Miami Beach because I have multiple homes because I manifested it.
I love
It's
that.
very important to me. So in Miami Beach, there is this very famous restaurant called Prime 112. And
Okay.
it's still very famous. A lot of celebrities like going. I remember one time, not too long ago, maybe in the past 5 to 10 years, Kim Kardashian drove up in like a exotic car color that matched her outfit. I mean, it's a vibe. NBA players, celebrities, the baby. He had a little shootout in front of it or something.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's a whole vibe. It's a very nice, awesome place known for steak, and it's just oof. So the gentleman who owns Prime 112, Big Pink, Prime Italian, he used to own Prime Fish. How do I know this? Because I was like 237 pounds and ordered a lot of Big Pink.
Okay.
And the Big Pink is like a diner on steroids. Like they have pancakes that big. They have a cookie that big I would have delivered. They have this amazing lox, onions, and eggs breakfast. Y'all don't even know how much Big Pink I loved. Even I'm sober 11 years, but when I used to drink, I would drink a Big Pink. I adore the Big Pink, and it's very close to where I live. So I just knew the food. Whether I went there to get it, I got to pick up, or I had it delivered, which I had it delivered a lot. A lot. I still have that menu memorized.
Oh, wow.
The gentleman who started Big Pink, Prime 112, Prime Italian, he went to school for law.
That's a great example.
He went to school for law. And these aren't new businesses. These aren't like, oh, okay, they just popped up. No, Google Prime 112, Prime 112, Prime 112, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe one of y'all watching have been there because I know you have. You have a very sophisticated audience. Y'all have been there. And he not only started these restaurants and is flourishing, he the restaurants are all within like a 1 block radius of each other. He also had the foresight to put them in that part of town. Now,
Mm-hmm.
all of the popular restaurants, Poppy Steak, sorry, Targets, Poppy Steak, Milo's, the Carbone Group out of New York, they have a restaurant over there. He started out as a lawyer. I believe, and you can look it up because I don't remember exactly. I believe those restaurants have basically been there over 20 years. Well,
Wow.
I think well over. They were all there way before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
So, why is it and how is it that a lawyer could have the audacity to have 3 restaurants and at one time he had 4 in prime south of 5th real estate area selling $100 steaks and $50 shrimp?
Right.
Because
Right.
all it takes is action
Yeah.
and belief in yourself. So why wouldn't the government buy bill processing? Why wouldn't they buy promotional items from you? Why wouldn't they buy things like cups? Why wouldn't they go to you to staff a chapel? Why not? They did for us. I have
That's powerful.
employees in Hawaii who work at a chapel. Did I
Wow.
work in a chapel? No. My birth mom is Catholic. I was like, okay, that seems cool. That seems good enough. Why does that matter? It doesn't matter. We support vape, like vape tobacco inspection to make sure people are healthy. We support food inspectors. We've had contracts to create small business training. We even got a contract for, I think it was like mindfulness or something of that nature.
Wow.
We've even done work for Walmart Grocery. We did diversity training for them. So at the end of the day, the question and your mindset should shift to why not you? Because when you
Yeah.
were Prime 12, you weren't thinking, oh, I'm going here because some world renowned chef started. No, you went there because you knew, oh, this is the hot spot. You wanted affiliation. Oh,
Right.
this is the hot spot. Whether it's Prime 112, it's Poppy Steak, it's Carbone. I'm not sponsored by these places. I'm just trying to help you all out. So when you go to Miami and Miami Beach, you're going to the best spots because these are the best spots. And so that's what you're thinking. And that's what the government is thinking. We just want a small business who can provide the thing, and we don't have a headache with them providing the thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They like small businesses because they give over 75% to large businesses.
Ah, good point. Okay, that's definitely eye opening. Um, now you also mentioned how this can also translate into private corporations as well, because you mentioned Walmart. So I would be curious to know that how could a government contracted business translate also into private business as well?
I remember the woman reached out and I said, how did you hear of us? She said, Oh, I think on the internet. And I was like, what? And she literally was like, okay, I'm going to buy this. And I was like, this is the easiest sell ever in my life. And it, I mean, listen, y'all, just if I may take a step back, take a roll back in my office chair here in Tulum, Mexico. I wish y'all could see it. I got jungle over here, swim up pools over there. Okay.
Nice.
Mayan archaeological site over there. So here's the deal. When I first started in government contracting, and this is a skill set for all of you, curiosity. I received this email from a government employee. She was like passing it along, kind of like a for your information. But I'm curious. So I scrolled through the whole email. And I learned this company out of the Orlando area was seeking somebody like myself with a PhD who could analyze data because the person who they currently had as a contractor decided to like officially retire. So they were
Okay.
kind of partially retired.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. Let me reach out. And they basically only targeted private industry. So through them, I started to learn and get experience under their umbrella. And we did work for TIAA CREF, for universities, medical centers, for other businesses I can't really name, because I was able to get in the door because they had at that time, I think, over 20 years experience in diversity and inclusion, leadership, topics like that. They had a sales team and I was fresh out of grad school. So I was like, oh, this is amazing. Okay.
Hmm.
And I would get paid based on the day and I would do all these things. I flew to sales meetings. So I was aware of kind of what it took to build that book of business. And I didn't want anything to do with that. I loved executing it. I loved bringing people on my team to do it. So when Walmart reached out, it was a complete shock because we were not targeting Walmart.
Right.
We have ads. We weren't, it was really God. And so because of the history with that company out of Orlando and the history of diversity and inclusion services with the federal government, I think that's what drew them in. So the thing is you can not only do private and federal, you can also bid on state, local, international. There's no reason you can't bid on work here. And when I say here, not just physically in Mexico, but let me break it down. Mexico has a thing called consulates. And the consulates are located, for instance, across the United States. It's not the United States paying for these consulates. So you can even bid on contracts at Mexican consulates. I learned about an opportunity at a consulate in California. And then you have opportunities here in Mexico, Jamaica, Canada, England. You fill in the blank with whatever country you want to do work in. And the
Mm.
other interesting part is the federal government is worldwide, like, Mr. 305.
Right.
They have contracts, federal contracts in Mexico, in Guatemala, in Italy, in Peru, in Guam, in Japan. So there's over $800 billion worth of work across the world. You don't have to live in these places. You don't have to speak their languages because you're dealing with the federal. So, whatever path you go, whether it's federal, state and local, international for that host country, it's private. It's so many opportunities in this world of abundance for you.
Absolutely. I love how you just like expanded my mind and those who are watching beyond where we typically have put government contract in a box. You know that it only you can only do this, right? And so you're expanding it out to several different countries, several different disciplines we could be tapping into, as well as not just federal but also state and local. Which I can tell you for myself, I was watching one of your TikToks, and you were we were talking about this. The main focus at the time was federal, but at the same time you did give encouragement for the other, gave me encouragement actually for the other contracts as well. And so I recently actually won a contract not too long ago. It was thank you, here in the state of Texas with a pretty large university. So we're just waiting for that next step to get our assignment, but we're actually part of their pre-approved vendor list, which was really nice, and it went through that whole process. But you're right, there are so many different opportunities, you know, whether it's state, local. In this case, it was a university. In our case, there's so many opportunities, and there's cities, tons of cities. I get actually emails all the time from cities that want video production work,
Mhm.
and these are like small towns. They may only have like 10,000 people, but they need to have like their board meetings, their councils, or whatever, recorded. They need to have certain events recorded, things like that. I just never actually even thought about that until I got into this whole contracting thing. So thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Well, congratulations to you because you did what most people don't is you took action. You took action because for some reason there's this picture painted of like, oh, the government, it's so whatever, right? It's hard, there's red tape, you're never going to make money, they're so difficult. And it's like, well, sometimes people say things to keep you away. And at the end of the day, they pay. And a lot of universities are funded through their states. So the university work, like you discovered, was available through some type of Texas site. And the
Yeah.
other beautiful part is, yes, you're in Texas, but you don't have to live in Texas to win Texas work. You
Right.
can get on work in Hawaii, in New York, and we have 50 states, y'all.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can bid on not only the work in 50 states, but you can bid on work in these things called states and territories.
Ah, yeah. There you go. Right. Puerto Rico would be one of them, right?
Guam.
Guam. Yeah. That's awesome. Kizzy, you've helped your students earn and win over $30 million in contracts. What do you think has been one of the main ways that you approach this? How do you help these people to win these contracts?
I give them hope because I have contracts. I give them hope. They sense my mission and I break things down easily. And these are things they share. I was communicating with a woman just the other day in my DMs on Instagram because I still respond to my DMs. May not respond immediately, but I'll eventually respond to you. And she was saying how she won this hotel contract with the Omni. And this agency likes her so much that they said, we want you to be the go to for the hotel. And she was just like, I can't even believe it. I used Chat GPT, I watched your content. But the thing about you that really helped is you motivated me, you inspired me, you showed me it was possible. That's the biggest thing because we're taught no, government is evil, or oh, it's hard, or why would they buy hotels from me? Because why not? The
Right.
Omni wasn't bidding, but she understood the requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't her first, like it was, she's won other contracts too. So that's really helpful. The other thing is, I know that people get it. People will comment all of the time, like, you are a blessing. You are this. Just look at my comments YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. These are things people have said. This is not a Kizzy boasting and pontificating. This is
Right.
people share with me. And then lastly, people always talk about we like or I like how you break things down. I've always had the heart of of a teacher. When I was a little girl, I played school, and I get it. Maybe a lot of you played school. I not only played school, I taught at certain universities, and I am Dr. Parks. And I thought I was going to be a college professor. And when I reunited with my birth mom, talk about a, you know what she did for 30 years?
What did she do?
She was a school teacher.
Oh my goodness.
She didn't raise me. We're really close today. But my point is, people see it and they get it. So then when they see an opportunity to to offer hotels, instead of why me, it's why not me?
Right. Yeah. I totally agree with you because after watching your content and being involved with your lives, you definitely do that. You did it for me in that moment. It's like, just do it. It's almost like, why are you even doubting yourself? Just put yourself out there and do it. And I think that you're doing that for a lot of other people, which I can definitely see and appreciate that. That's your superpower.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And I love it
Yeah.
because it's it's bigger than just winning a contract and making money. It's way bigger than that, but it's beautiful to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you manage multiple businesses. We've talked about this, multiple successful businesses. How do you manage your time effectively across these different businesses? I mean, and then on top of that, consistently create content.
I mean, it's a great team. It's health and wellness. Like, I laugh because just 9, 10 months ago, I was doing, oh man, I was not the best me. So let's go back like a year. I was just starting. Well, I was not starting. I was adding to my transformation journey, just in
Hmm.
general as a human being, right? As a woman.
Hmm.
And I remember thinking, like, oh, I'm like working at a 30% capacity, 40%. Like, I hated everything I created, right? So it's powerful, right? I hated everything. I hated, except for one thing. I hated like the government. I hated all of it. I really did. I was like, I hate this stuff. I wish somebody would just call me and offer to buy my business. But I liked YouTube. I loved creating the content. I loved helping. I loved teaching. But then I was miserable and overweight and a mess. And ooh, I was a mess and all that stuff. So then when I decided to go on this ultimate journey, because I was like, okay, I'm going to move to Mexico. I'm going to lose weight. I'll stay here for 5 months and then go back to Miami Beach where I boat. And then God stepped in and was like, haha, nah, that's not going to happen. That part of me that was always there, that part of me when I was a little girl and people were like, you're special and you're going to excel in this gifted class. The part of me who I had teachers pull me aside and say, why are you doing XYZ? You should be doing XYZ. That part of me when I was in college and I had that professor doubt me and say, I don't think you're grad school material. That part of me where I've always had people doubt kicked in and then transitioned to love. Because when we try and do things out of
Mm.
spite, oh, that,
Mm.
I mean, that gets us far. It fired me up. But now it's love and light and God, right? So when that happened, those parts of me that got me to where I was, being who I was so grateful and thankful for. And I knew because I've always been that person who's always outworked. I have a Guinness World Record title. I've always been that person. So then when that clicked, it was like, there's no option. There's this Kendrick Lamar song called Element, whether you want to listen to it or not. And basically, in a nice PG-13 summary, it's about you're not going back. It says David Goggins talks about you're burning the boats. It's what you see with people like Cardi B and all these other people out there. There's no going back. There's no like, I'm just going to hit the pause button.
Right.
So to answer that question is not with a response of, oh, I wake up at 4 a.m., I do some jumping jacks, and then I have a smoothie, and then I listen to motivational tapes. The answer is, I do whatever it is I want to do
Mm. So
because
make
that's
yeah.
because that is very important for me.
So making sure that that business that you're involved or businesses that you're involved in are aligned with what you want to do, what your purpose is, or whatever the case is. That's more important than the management of the time itself.
And that you're at the right place. Because now I love my businesses. So what's happened is business partner, I have an amazing team, and putting in the structure in all of the businesses to scale without breaking. So I
Right.
talked earlier about those breakage points, right? In the $40,000 2-day class that I took. And so now we're doing what's needed. So as a result of that, I get to live the schedule I live. So on a typical day, just to break it down, because I'll give it to you, because people still may want to know what does a day look like. First and foremost, I live full time here in Tulum, Mexico, at a very beautiful place. With I live in the jungle with swim up pools. I go to the gym. I'm usually there around 10. My trainer is away for this is her last day out, and so I go whenever I want to when she's gone. But
Okay.
when she's here, we meet typically from 10 to a little after 11. I'm in the middle of preparing for this transformation division with FMG, Tulum, Mexico. And so I also,
What is FMG? What is that? Sorry.
it's a like bodybuilding group. And my coach, she is a pro fitness bodybuilder. I think it's very important to surround yourself with real experts, you
Yes.
know? So she's competing, I'm competing in a transformation category. So I also do cardio. Typically, I don't do cardio. So after we lift, I have to do anywhere from 20 to an hour, depending what she tells me, of cardio. Sometimes I'll take calls during cardio. I have my headset wherever it's put. Um, and then I walk. I like having a celery juice after I work out and before. So then I'll walk to the celery place, get my celery juice, taxi home. And then when I get back here, it's whatever the tasks are, be it, it could be recording something like this, it could be um, responding to messages in Slack. It could be, who knows, it could be bidding. Like, for instance, today I need to write this proposal that's due. Every day is a little different, but the things that are constant is I typically go live on YouTube every day. I like going live on Instagram on Sundays. I'll go live on TikTok every now and again. So you make time for what's important to you. And then I didn't even talk about my food. So with the food, because I'm OMAD, I only eat one meal a day. I typically,
What?
yeah, OMAD keto.
Wow. Okay.
So I'll eat typically 5 to 9, 5 to 10 p.m. every day. So I was introduced to this amazing company. So I have the most amazing meat. So I have this ground beef, and then I make that. I have my veg, I have my mushrooms. I follow eating plan of Eddie Abneu on Instagram. Then I found this beautiful service because my time is very important. It's super important because my cup must be filled. I'm an empath,
Mm-hmm.
I'm psychic,
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving, I'm a teacher. So they have this very beautiful service here in Mexico, kind of like an Instacart type thing, but not. And I have them run errands for me. So like for instance, today, I want them to get more coffee for me and to return these bottles and to drop off my dry cleaning. And it's great. So then I do that, and then also keep in mind I'm keto, and this is not just a one-time thing. This is like for life. So I don't eat sugar, I don't eat fruit, I don't
What?
eat carbohydrates, I don't really eat process. Every now and again, if I'm out, I might get bacon, but I got to be careful with bacon because bacon has sugar. It's very rare. So I normally eat a protein and veg. Um, and so that's how I live. Oh, and then
Wow.
also, because health is really important, I try my best to ground. I have the jungle over here, so I'll ground over here. I'll go to the beach. I have this amazing further water filtration. This condo is beautiful and elevated. So I have a water filtration, but then I take it a step further and I have this mega home water filtration that takes like 4 hours. So I have that. So I run that multiple times a day. So I'm drinking the best water. I have the best water for my coffee. And, I'm always tapped into my higher and best self because you can't have love and light unless you're tapped in and constantly open to growing and accepting and running with the lessons. That's my day.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, kudos to you. Um, yeah, the stuff you mentioned, you just let rattling it off on a list. But I can just tell you, for instance, for one thing, sugar, that is like, that is huge. I know I'm addicted to sugar. I mean, I know that I'm definitely addicted to sugar. I have to have levels of sugar every single day. And so when you said that amongst your long list, I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, like I haven't eaten today. I'm not eating for several hours.
That's the other thing that amazed me. That's why my mouth dropped when you said, "Oh man, I never heard of that. One meal a day." Well, let me ask you this: did you foresee those things as what would be a great help for you to build your business, to create your why? Did you foresee that, or did that just something that just kind of came?
Heck no. Literally, this is what it was. I was like, let me tell you, because I'm transparent, y'all. Transparent. That's another reason people like me. I keep it real. So
Yes.
here's the deal. At some point in time, it might have been a year. It was a year ago,
Okay.
about a year ago or so. I saw this woman on Instagram, now my trainer, Brittany. So she was tagged in a photo. So I bring this up to show you all the power of Instagram. My hairdresser, I go to her every 6 weeks in Dallas from Instagram. Like, just so you all
Okay.
know and realize,
Wow.
business owners, this isn't like, oh, only a model can do this or only people who sell tea can do this. No, this is no matter what you sell, please use these platforms. So this woman was tagged. I started following her and we had similarities. So I joined her coaching program. It was like a group coaching program.
Hmm.
So I didn't do anything. Y'all know how it is. You buy a class, you buy a coaching program, it makes you feel good, but you don't do it. So that
Yeah.
was me. But I felt good. Like, well, I joined it. It's like joining a gym and you never go.
Yeah.
So I then did that. And then I'll just say I tried some fast quick methods to lose weight that a lot of celebrities did or are doing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that
Mm-hmm.
without going there. And that wasn't working. And then she had an upsell, like a smaller program.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that'll be the answer. I'll do her smaller program because I like that she talked more than just this is what you eat, working out. She talked about all these different areas. And she happened to live in Tulum, Mexico. She just backdrop, but she's from California. So I bought the group. I'm in the groups, I'm listening, I'm doing the celebrity lose weight fast thing and hopping in the gym whenever. Still really nothing. So I said, I need to do something extreme. I'm going to see if I can stay with her for 30 days. Because there have been people, they have books and all of these things where they've done things for 30 days. They talk about the power of 30 days. And I thought, well, I got to do something different. So I said, I want to come to Tulum, Mexico and spend October to November with you. And I just want to do that, lose some weight with you, figure it out, have you teach me because she's a professional bodybuilder fitness person. Let's do it. So she's like, oh my gosh, cool. So I came to Tulum October to November and I started the journey, right? I was like, oh, okay. But I knew it didn't click. Now, the different spiritual advisors, all of these guides in my life, one in particular, Monty Cohen said, Kizzy, you don't have nothing to worry about. She told me October, November. She said, you're going to lose weight fast. And of course, I was like, okay, whatever. And then I went back to eating terrible and doing all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I still knew I was like, I can't do it here because I was still not super happy, right? I wasn't super
Mm-hmm.
happy. Yeah, I had contracts. Yeah, things are going on in my life. Yeah, whatever. But I wasn't really happy. And I'm like, I'm still overweight and I'm eating McDonald's and then I'm overeating sugar and I'm getting cookies and,
Yeah, yeah.
know, and
The,
so,
lo- the access was killing you. The
right,
access to this stuff.
especially in the States, it's like,
Yeah.
like, so I then went back to her and I said, look, like this was, I mean, again, I left November. I already am back to her, like, listen, Brittany, how about I stay in Tulum for 5 months? So I'll do January to May. My birthday's in May. I thought, oh, I'll lose some weight. I'll just whatever. I'll figure it out and it'll be more permanent.
Right.
I knew nothing about grounding. I didn't know about this mega home. I didn't know about the power of wheatgrass shots and sunflower seed juice and celery juice. And I knew about celery juice, but not in the way that that I know now. So when I came here, it was under the umbrella of I'm going to come here, lose some weight for my birthday, and I'm supposed to learn and grow according to these advisors in my life. And I guess, and then boom, like it's so fast. I haven't even been here a year. I've already lost 60 pounds. Everything is transformed. So when I share not just how my business 3x, not just look at the students. I had Ultimate Edge before. I had coaching before. My students weren't having that type of success because I wasn't having that type of
Mm.
person.
Yeah.
I was still miserable. I still thought in scarcity. I wasn't manifesting the way I manifest now. I've always manifested, but I didn't know. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know my powers as somebody with all these gifts. Now it's all different. So when
Yeah.
I came here, when I stepped out and said, I'm going to move to Tulum, never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be that person who likes being barefoot and who is calm and who is so connected to spirit, who likes swinging in her swings. Yes, to the left of me, I have 3 swings outside. I
Okay. I want you to send me a picture of those swings, by the way.
I will send you one. I never thought that I would not only be that person, but the connection to business. And it's not even connection, it's like it's just naturally part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, what I've learned in this conversation is the three keys I hear as far as success is you worked on you. That was big. You also used mentors to help you get there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also changed your location, your proximity. And that seemed to have a profound effect on your growth as well. Is that a fair summary there?
It's a fair summary. And the one thing I want to add,
Okay, please.
this is not a Tulum, Mexico thing, because it happens, right? Somebody will go to a retreat, they will go to a training. And that's why they call it an event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it felt really good. And then you come back, and then 23 hours later, you're right back to how you used to be.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
This is not that. I get my meat from these private people. Guess what I did in Michigan? I went to the farmer's market, ordered meat. So when I go back, the meat's in the freezer. What did I do when I went to my place in Miami Beach? I found a farmer in Florida. I had the meat shipped, a big old box of this
Mm.
beautiful meat. I have this woman here in her 70s who makes me cabbage keto. I found a place in Miami that makes cabbage keto, meaning no carrot.
Okay.
I bought that. When I go to Miami, I buy that. In Michigan, I'll look to see if somebody does that. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Every single
Mm.
thing is lined up.
The diet. So you mentioned diet, the food that you're taking in is so important.
The food, because the food, I'm not going to go into all of it, but I know for myself, not just as an adult, I know how I was as a kid. I would eat an entire box of cereal in the Cool Whip or the knockoff Aldi Cool Whip container that we reused as a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I would gladly eat that every day for breakfast. About a whole box. This is no lie. That's why I was an overweight child. And so I know the power of sugar. I've spent significant time with my birth mom. I see how foods impact her. I know that if I'm over here not only eating, consuming, if I'm living a certain way, then how in the heck am I to be a motivator for anybody? Because I'm not even a
Mm-hmm.
motivator for myself.
So you had mentors, food, and also you mentioned extensively about your exercise. You know, you're just taking care of your body and grounding. Those are all things I also caught from the discussion as well. Very insightful. I love this discussion. Now, I'm excited to learn more about your book. Can you just tell me a little bit about your book? Because,
Beautiful.
and I know you've sold quite a few of them. A lot of folks in your Facebook book, you have Facebook group, you have over 20,000 members. They're responding well to it. Tell us about your book. What inspired you to do it? And tell us about it.
This is the book. Um, GovCon Winner's Way. And what inspired the book is, and it's on Amazon, it's online, is I knew the market needed something from somebody who had won multiple millions in contracts,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who was willing to not gatekeep, and something that was easy for a beginner.
Mm,
I
mhm.
knew
Oh, yeah,
that
absolutely. Yep.
because I purposely didn't put how to write a proposal. That needs to be in a video. That needs to be in behind a paywall. That's like somebody saying to you, well, how do you play the violin? Okay. I mean, come on. It's a little more than this is what you do. So the book is beautiful. And just from the book alone, people have and do win contracts. So many people, because I literally share what I've done. I have
Right,
contracts.
right.
I have about 100 people who work for me. So the book is beautiful. It's really brief. Um, at some point in time, we'll do an audio version, but because of my voice and I recently had full vocal surgery, we're going to figure that out, but it's a beautiful, beautiful book because it's easy. It's easy
Right.
to read, and you can go on my social and see people who are like, oh my gosh, I read it in one day. I'm so excited. I just got it. This is the comments of other people, not me. I do things for you. This is not for me.
I love that. And I know and I believe that because of my interactions with you, why would the book be any different? So I look
Right.
forward to checking out the book. Uh, just want to applaud you for success. I know you're going to be at the upcoming, which I'm excited about also, upcoming Vid Summit for YouTube, which is an amazing accomplishment that you've done that. I don't know if you want to share a little bit how that it came about, but that's amazing. It'll be in Dallas coming up at the beginning of September.
I'm so excited for Vid Summit. And the way Vid Summit came about is because I've shown the power of what you can do with your channel. Definitely my connection to Daryl Eves and his amazing team is a big part of it. But I've learned apply to just. And what I mean by that is you have creatives. I want to create a channel, I want to be creative, boom, 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 boom. Money, whatever, I might sell merch or whatever. Then you have us entrepreneurs. I'm kind of a mix, but I thought, oh, this is great, right? Great place to advertise and do these amazing things for your business and help people, etc. So what I love about Vid Summit is to be able to show the small creators, whether they're creative types, entrepreneurial types, they're both, or maybe they don't even know that you don't have to have 100,000 subscribers or a million subscribers to monetize.
Right.
And that's what I'm so excited about because that's what I thought. I thought, oh, there's no way, like, I
Yeah.
have to be at, this huge level. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm really excited to give my presentation because it's also doable. You don't have
Yes.
to have a huge team and a beautiful setup or a studio or anything like that. You just need a camera, ideas, and to put yourself out there.
And most people who are watching this have a phone, so you already have a camera. So that's a great point too. Well, listen, Kizzy, thank you for being you. Thank you for putting yourself out there, being so transparent about what you do, because it gives us the confidence and belief in ourselves watching you do what you do. So thank you for that.
No, anytime. I mean, it's the least I can do. Least I can do.
And I want to also mention to my audience that the kind of person you are, we're actually interacting on the weekend, and literally we put this together in basically a day or two that we're going to do this together.
Mhm.
And that's just the kind of giving person you are, willing to give you your time of day. It's very valuable. So again, many thanks to you. Keep up the great work. Go Kizzy.
Yes.